going up against your former team,
Mm-hmm.
the biggest game of the year. What are your emotions like against it?
Pretty high emotions, you know. Kansas City, best team in the world. They the champs. You know, they done been in 4 Super Bowls in the past, 6 years. So it's a great feeling to try to go in there and knock off, you know, the best team in the world over the past 5, 6 years.
What does Bryce look like to you? He's a young player. He's had a good year. You're probably going to get him in this
hmm
game.
He kind of remind me of Debo a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Good route runner, tough, physical. Once he get the ball in his hands, he can make plays, make guys miss. So we got to go out there and just try to match his physicality and be physical with him all game.
Can you offer any advice about the Mahomes Kelsey connection and how to possibly address that, take care of that?
I mean that matchup. That duo is kind of 1-on-1. You know what I'm saying? It's nobody like them. So we just got to go out there and just try our hardest, man. Try our best. We know they got great chemistry. So we just got to go out there and match, you know, their intensity all game. They Hall of Famers, but I mean we just got to up our level of play.
I was at a time that Kelsey either runs the wrong route or just sees something and sits down. Like, can you prepare for a player that plays with instinct, or is there any way to do
Yeah,
that?
I mean Travis just smart. Like if he got a certain route, and if he see a guy sitting out there to where his route got to go, I mean obviously he's not gonna just run to the guy. He'll just sit down, find a hole in the defense, and that's what I mean by the chemistry earlier. Like they just know each other real well. You know what I mean? So maybe we got to go out there and just try to match that.
People have talked about how you have to defend two plays every time with Mahomes, the regular one, and then when you start to scramble,
Right.
just how do you go about doing? What's the challenge?
We got to just plaster, you know what I'm saying? Have great stamina because we know he going to get out the pocket a lot, scramble around. The guys on the D-line, they probably going to be tired. We probably going to be tired, but we got to just up our intensity all game.
With a team like that likes to use the screen game, short passing as much. How do you kind of strike that balance of like knowing when to shoot your gun to go stop the screen game versus like making sure something doesn't get over your head?
I mean, we're going to shoot our gun every play. The safeties, if the corners shoot their gun, I mean, we're going to have somebody back us up every play. We know the screens and the jet sweeps and reverses been kind of our weakness all season and definitely in the playoffs. So, I mean, obviously, that would be crazy not to come out there and do the same thing. So we got to, just shoot our gun and be physical and don't let them get any momentum in that department.
What do you learn from your last two Super Bowls of, I guess, spending time during the week when you're not on the practice field? Are you watching film? Are you reading a book? Trying to chase down family members?
Well, this Super Bowl in Vegas, so it might turn up a little bit the first day or two out there, but after that, really just lock in, you know what I'm saying, focus. The whole week is really like a movie. Like, you're going to see celebrities everywhere. Pre-game on the field, you might see Jay-Z, Beyonce, you know what I'm saying, Kevin Hart, people like that, but, I mean, it's still a game at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying. We still got to go out there and try to get the win, especially in the Super Bowl. You know you don't want to fuck up in the Super Bowl, so you got to go out there all weekend. Just be locked in, be on your stuff.
There's a lot of this roster that hasn't been in a big game.
Mhm.
Have guys come up and talk to you about what the experience is like? Are you offering kind of your experience and advice on how to deal with it all?
Like I said, it's gonna be like a movie. Like the lights gonna be shining, it's gonna be media everywhere, cameras everywhere. So you gotta just be a professional while you're out there the whole week. Like study and do whatever you can do to keep your mind focused and prepare for the game.
Is there something that you specifically do to keep your mind locked in?
Oh, I do a lot of things. I read, I meditate, I say positive affirmations. I visualize, and talk to my old lady, my girlfriend. Yeah, that's what I do to keep my head on straight.
In the league, having those tools, or is that something you've developed as you've been in the league?
It definitely, I did it a little bit coming into the league, but as I got in the NFL, like this shit hella stressful, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot of haters in this game. Like the fans can hate on you sometimes, media can down talk you sometimes. So you just gotta find ways to work on yourself. I always been like a big self-help person, you know what I'm saying? Care for myself. Self-care is always the best care. So I always been trying to, find ways to better myself mentally, and spiritually.
One of your positive affirmations.
Nah, that's kind of just me right there. I'm sorry. Some for people can say it's just like I believe in myself, or when I first wake up in the morning, I'll say something like I believe or I have faith, you know what I'm saying, in myself and in God. That's something I say every morning.
What's different about this postseason run as opposed to all the others you've been on?
I feel like I know we got a great team. Everybody expected us to be in the Super Bowl. Like when I was in Kansas City, when we won in 2020, what it was, we just knew we was gonna win the Super Bowl. It wasn't a doubt in our mind that we wasn't gonna win the Super Bowl. And I feel like that's how this team feel this year.
We hear so much about those Bosa speeches on Saturday that we walk through. What makes them compelling? What do you get from those things?
How you know about them? How you know about them speeches?
They're talking about it.
They pretty good speeches, man. You know, Bosa defensive player of the year, so he talk. You know what I'm saying? You gonna listen because he doing something right. So he do a pretty good job of motivating us and having us locked in for the game.
What do you think of Jair? Had 10 tackles in the big moment last week against Detroit. How do you feel he's coming along?
Jair pretty good, man. He a pretty good player. You know, Ricky, the stage not too big for him, the light's not too bright for him. He pretty calm out there and confident in himself. And so I feel like Jair gonna do pretty good in the Super Bowl.
What do you think? Play from the Super Bowl win over the Niners that sticks with you, or just a moment that kind of is particularly special?
You talking about when we won?
Yeah.
A play that I remember when that deep 3rd and 15 pass, I think, to Tyreek Hill, they kind of like changed the momentum of the game.
You had a feeling like maybe we got them.
I mean, we knew we was gonna win the whole time, to be honest. Just like we did these past 2 games when we went down.
Have you told your teammates you knew you were gonna win that game all the time?
Nah, I ain't said nothing to him. If we talk about it though, I'd tell him like I feel like we was never mind, but yeah, I'm glad we got the win for sure.
What were your emotions last year when you see the Chiefs go on and win the Super Bowl?
It was kind of bittersweet, man. I knew they was gonna kind of make it to the Super Bowl because I mean that's just a good ass team over there. Like they got Pat, He like the ultimate equalizer, and you know Travis Kelce, Andy Reid calling plays. Like they got a crazy big 3. You know what I mean? So I mean I kind of figured if we went to the Super Bowl, we was gonna be playing those guys, and it would have been sweet to play them last year. But you know we got the opportunity this year. I'm pretty sure like this what Kyle Shanahan probably wanted as well. Like you know what I'm saying? He had his opportunity as a head coach to win the Super Bowl. I'm pretty sure he felt like he had it in his hand. And 20, he kind of let it slip through. But you know this the rematch right here.
Practice against Patrick Mahomes for a long time.
Mhm.
What has his game changed like from when you first started practicing against him versus now?
I feel like the first day I saw him, and now I just always knew he was the best player. You know what I'm saying in the football in the National Football League. Like, I mean he's, huh? Hell yeah. Even back then, I think my first year in Kansas City was his first year being like the starter. And when I got there, the first game, he threw like 5 or 6 touchdowns in LA against the Chargers. So that's when I was like, damn, like I never saw nothing like this. It was crazy. Ever since then, he been, you know, winning Super Bowls, collecting rings. So just he the GOAT, man. He one of the GOATs behind Tom Brady for sure.
Okay. Thanks, man.
I appreciate that.